This past weekend, I got to experience Gen Con for the first time, and I'm going to take you guys on the journey with me. What's going on, everybody? It's Sean the Saiyan here, back with another video. If you're new here and you love the One Piece TCG, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But anyway, guys, Gen Con, just a little background. I had signed up for a regional and a treasure cup. I had mentioned this in a couple of previous videos, and this is one of the main reasons why I was going to Gen Con, but I had never been before. So it was a very exciting experience, and I wanted to vlog it and just kind of show you guys what it's all about.
A few moments later.
It is currently Wednesday morning and I am pretty much packed, if you can see. Leaving for Gen Con today. Super excited. It's my first time going, so doing a One Piece regional and a Fusion World regional, so I'm super excited.
So I unfortunately had to drop from the treasure cup just as being super busy with the move, just not being able to invest as much time and practice into it. But the regional I was still able to get into.
How are we feeling, Chris?
Feeling good, feeling good.
You ready for Gen Con?
Oh yeah, I'm excited for, it's my first convention, so.
So what events are you doing and what decks are you playing for those events?
So I am doing the One Piece TCG Treasure Cup and also the offline regional, and I'll be playing Perona pretty much. And then I'm also doing a Digimon Ultimate Cup, and I'm playing pretty much a Terriermon deck.
Chris and I decided to get some practice games in and look at some trades while we were waiting for the rest of the guys to show up. Not too long after though, Dexter and John showed up and we were able to hit the road and start our way to Indianapolis. The drive was just a little over 7 hours. A lot of that time I spent studying different decks, and my particular deck, Green Bonnie, was the deck that I was studying the most and watching videos and asking the guys for advice.
My name is Dexter Riley. I am a somewhat accomplished One Piece player back in OP04.
Why is that?
I was a regional winner, Peoria Regionals with Red Green Law.
Oh shit.
And for Gen Con now, I'm going to be playing Red Purple Law. I'll be in both of the Treasure Cup and the regional for One Piece, and both of the Dragon Ball regionals.
And you're playing Frieza for Fusion World, correct?
I'm playing Frieza, yes.
Which are you more confident for, One Piece or Fusion World right
by
now?
far One Piece. I've played thousands of games of One Piece compared to 5 games of Dragon Ball. So.
What are you trying to dodge? What matchup are you trying to dodge in One Piece?
In One Piece, I'm not worried about any matchup. I just need my deck to draw properly.
What about Fusion World?
In Fusion World, I really need to dodge Beerus.
I'm John. I'm going to be participating in the Dragon Ball Fusion World events, regionals, side events, and maybe a demo, and I'm playing Frieza.
Okay. And how confident are you in the regionals?
In regionals, I'd say I'm about 50-50.
Was Frieza your first choice, or were you going to originally play a different deck?
Originally, I was thinking androids, but Frieza just seemed like something I could deal better with than androids.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also playing Frieza, because Frieza's just super aggressive in this meta.
After dropping Dexter off at his hotel, we decided to go check into ours, then go find a place to eat. Thankfully, I was smart and asked the staff at my local game store what the best places to eat near the convention center was, as they go to Gen Con every year for their booth. And one of the recommendations that they had was K-Town, a Korean barbecue and hot pot restaurant. So full disclosure, I had never actually tried a Korean barbecue or hot pot place before, so there was a lot more to it than I realized. Thankfully though, we had Chris to steer us in the right direction as far as the cooking goes. The food and sake were amazing. The aesthetic of the restaurant was also great. I almost left with that Goku statue, not even kidding. It was time for us to head back to the hotel and get some sleep for the first day of Gen Con tomorrow. The first day was packed. Over 71,000 people here just to escape and play all different types of games. They pretty much had everything. Whether you're into tabletop, TCG, or just straight board games, they had a table for it. Now, you guys know me. I immediately went to the Bandai booth in the exhibit hall and didn't hesitate to buy a box of OP07 for MSRP. I sadly didn't pull anything crazy, just some SRs and an Alt-Art Frankie, but still, it felt good to crack some packs without busting your wallet. While my friend John had more luck and ended up pulling an Alt-Art leader Vegeta from Dragon Ball Fusion World. I didn't have any big tournaments the first day. I mostly just did some demos, which included Union Arena and Sandland Tactical Card Game Battle, which are both by Bandai. Shocker, I know. I did end up copying some of the playmats for Union Arena. I mean, they look sweet, come on. I did end up doing a One Piece side event right alongside the Treasure Cup using my Bonnie deck. I went 2-2, but funny enough, one of my opponents also had a Gear 5 tattoo in the exact same spot as mine, which was pretty cool. His is definitely a lot more detailed and intricate, but hey, I still love mine. Any downtime I had in between events, I was usually just getting some games in with Chris or John. We left the convention center around close to 6. We were all pretty satisfied with the first day, since all of us got to explore the con and for the most part just kind of do our own thing, but also not being afraid to challenge each other to some friendly matches. We went back to the hotel to drop off all our stuff, then go find a spot to eat. We ended up going to a bar called the Slippery Noodle, which was also recommended to me by my LGS staff. The food and drinks were also really good. They also had live music, which is always a plus. But I think the main thing that I'm gonna remember from this place was this little haunted tour I got from one of the staff.
What is your name, sir? Christian? Okay, I'm Sean. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So Christian was nice enough to give us a tour of the basement and talk about all the different supernatural encounters that they've had over the years. We sadly had to cut the tour short because we had to go meet up and practice with Dexter at his hotel for tomorrow's tournament, but overall, the first day of the trip was a massive success. So the second day of Gen Con was not as lax as the first. Dexter, John, and I all had a regional tournament for the Dragon Ball Fusion World card game. We all decided on playing Frieza, as it seemed to have a good spot in the meta currently.
John, how are you feeling? Your first Fusion World Regional.
Excited and a little scared.
Why scared?
Oh, you know, I could get slapped around, I could not.
There was definitely some anxiety from me as well, as this was my first big regional for, well, any TCG. Sadly, none of us ended up topping in the regional. We still got our prizing for playing and got to meet some really cool people during the tournament. After the tournament, we ended up exploring the exhibit hall for a bit and got to check out some sweet upcoming products.
What's this? This is OPO8. Oh, the Flame fruit?
Yeah.
I'm hyped for that.
Then Chris and I decided to get some practice in for our One Piece regional tomorrow morning. So the regional took up a good chunk of our day, so we sadly didn't get to explore the con as much as yesterday. The second day was still a ton of fun, and I was absolutely ecstatic of the idea that I'm traveling across the US just to play a card game. So the third day was probably the biggest day for me. It was the One Piece Regional, which was my first one yet. It was massive. Over 700 people signed up. We actually had to do it in the lounge inside the stadium, and there were several floors. I ended up playing 5 rounds using my green Bonnie deck, and ended up dropping after the 5th with a record of 2-3, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to get top 128 prizing. The upside is I did end up getting all 3 of the captain's offline regional cards for my collection. After I got my participation prizing, I met up with John to go check out the food trucks outside the stadium, then go explore the con a little more. I got to test out some more board games and do some more side events, which was a ton of fun. We did some friendly matches to close out the day, grab food, then head back and get ready for our last day of Gen Con. So for the last day, I didn't end up getting as much footage as the others. I didn't have any big tournaments or any side events. It was just to take it all in last day kind of vibe and just enjoy it before it ends.
So John, what are your thoughts about Gen Con overall?
I like it a lot. Was able to meet some pretty dope people, able to get some cool stuff. Overall, just a pretty good time.
Chris, thoughts for last day at Gen Con?
It's alright. Not too bad.
Not too bad.
It's chill.
Love it. Do I have stuff on my mouth?
No.
Okay, good.
Well said, Chris. We left the convention center around 4 p.m. and just chilled at the hotel for the rest of the day. The next morning, we didn't waste any time and headed back straight to home. So while I didn't win in any big tournaments while I was out there, I had the time of my life, especially dealing with a pretty rough move just days before I needed a trip like this. It really helped. If you've never been to Gen Con, I highly recommend it. My advice is just make sure you set aside some days to just enjoy the con. Competition is always fun, but they eat up a lot of time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I definitely plan on going back next year. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and consider even subscribing. Until next time, One Piece players.